Whereas when I started, I didn't know I could make money out of it. You know, I don't know how you look at it. It's like, I just did it because I loved it and I wanted to do it and I wanted to be a little bit geeky and talk about football all the time. And then it happened.
My guest today on the podcast first came to prominence interviewing Andy Tate outside of Old Trafford back in 2014. He's also now found on The Club. He's a star of that as well as the Stretford Paddock, and you may have seen him alongside me on the overlap. It is Adam McKola. Adam, thanks for coming on.
How are we doing? Absolute pleasure.
Right.
As always.
Go ahead then. What is your earliest football memory?
The one that stands out to me is the Manchester United 1994 FA Cup winning team. They won the double as well. But that team, to me, like now, like it's like something out of a comic book. You know, like just all of them are heroes. You got Paul Ince and you got Roy Keane and you got Giggsy Sharp and Eric Cantona, obviously. Like that team for me stands out a lot. And beating Chelsea 4-0 in an FA Cup final in the rain, that is the memory that I have. Like that's the one. And I think I'll remember season review VHS.
Yeah.
I think I worn that one out so much. Like that was that was my earliest memory. Is that team.
Hell of a team.
It was an unbelievable team. I'm very spoiled. Very
Kanchelskis in that as well.
Kanchelskis, yeah, because then he went to use
he went
95, 96. No, 96.
No, 95 he come to the summer of 95.
95, 96, yeah. And then he played in his debut against us and he'd done his shoulder, remember?
At least sharp.
Yeah.
Haven't
weird
forgot it,
memory of that. Like,
haven't forgot it.
He was an unbelievable player, Kanchelskis. But again, it shows you how good Fergie was at. All right, let's move him on a little bit. We got someone coming through, so yeah, but great player. But that's the first
one. Who's your first hero then? Who's your first football hero then?
Eric Cantona made me fall in love with football.
Yeah.
I remember when he retired, I said to my dad always tells me this, like it came up on the news, and I went to him, what does retired mean? Like I didn't know what retired meant. Like and it came out of the blue. It was just a bit left field because I was born in '89, so I was. 7, 8 at that point.
You shouldn't know what the time means.
Like, and I was like, what does retired mean? And he's like, yeah, he's finished. And I probably burst into tears and was like devastated. But there's a picture of Cantona and Beckham celebrating a goal. And they've got their arms around each other running towards the Stretford end, I think. And that was on my wall, and that was like, Cantona was my first hero. He made me fall in love with football, but then it kind of moved on to Beckham after that. He inherited a 7 shirt and he inherited my love as well. So yeah, it was like Cantona, Beckham were like in school. I had curtains and I wore Predators and all that kind of. I was the Bollywood Becks, yeah. So Cantona though was
the Bollywood Becks. That one went under. I caught it a little bit there. Like one of Paul Scholes' tackles, I caught it a little bit there, but that was a hell of a shout.
Yeah, so it was just Cantona though.
Cantona was unbelievable.
And when I met him, it was like, so I've met him. I've been fortunate to meet him, like doing this job. For yourself, incredible stuff we get to do, and I'm still giddy to it all, especially when I meet if I meet the first team squad now, I couldn't give two shit. but like when I meet players from that era, I do almost turn into a little kid again. Like, oh my god, that's Cantona. And Cantona is one of these people who maintain his aura and he's like walks around and you think he's got a halo around him, but he also very personable and very down to earth, which is a weird thing to be able to manage to do. And the first time I met him, he just walked past us in a hotel, and I got up, kneed the hell out of the table, the table nearly flipped, and I ran up to him and I'm like, mate, just give me a hug, I need to, that's all I kept doing, and it was nuts. But then that led to us interviewing him, which was quite nice. But yeah, Eric Cantona was just unbelievable, man.
He was a crazy footballer, wasn't he? As in, I don't mean his mentality, I mean just so intelligent, changed so many things at Manchester. I remember seeing him at Leeds and thinking, it wasn't like it is now, is it? I mean, people who were under the age of 25 listening, or 30 and going, just look at him on YouTube or just it just wasn't like that. And when he went to Leeds, and this French player is brilliant, and then that obviously that you can qualify this more than me, but going from Leeds to Manchester United, there's a bit of a crossing that divide. When United got him, he took everything up, didn't he?
It was funny you mentioned then, like people now, they go, we'll just watch YouTube. I hate when people comment on, like, let's say I say David Beckham's the best right winger the Premier League's ever seen, or whatever.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, maybe there's someone else.
Yeah.
But I say that and then they go, no, Beckham was crap, this, that and the other. It's like, unless you were there at the time, you never got to see 90 minutes of him unless you went to the match. Or it was televised. And there were two games televised?
Yeah. That weekend,
At best, there was 2. Champions League games, maybe is when everyone got to see people play. But, like, unless you went to the matches, you never got to see 90 minutes of people. Like, so how the hell are all these people telling me, like, it's nuts? But nowadays, everything's just so televised and you get to see everything, like,
we know
instantly.
Everything, don't we? And it's saturated, isn't it? I remember, when people don't give Beckham the respect he deserves because obviously they look at a lifestyle or they look at, whatever he's doing, which he's done unbelievable, actually. I mean, even now, into Miami stuff and all that. But I remember that you'd always talk about him and go, Crossham's unbelievable or what a free kick's brilliant. But one of the greatest individual performances I've ever seen was for England against Greece. Beckham. He scores the free kick right at the end, and it takes England, off to the.
Yeah, I didn't.
But that performance that day wasn't beating 3 men and doing all the. It was running around like a lunatic, tackling almost as if he took everyone on his shoulders, and it was like, he's such a talented footballer, but look at what else he's doing. And that day, and I'm not, England's biggest fan by, not the way me club, but. I just remember thinking, wow, you are unbelievable. And that was probably, wasn't even him at his best. It was just that day he was remarkable.
And he did have that thing in him, especially after 98, where he was like, I need to make up for what I've just, which is an incredible, like, nowadays I imagine, look, you don't want people getting the kind of stick he was getting. It was, effigies and all sorts. You don't want that. But nowadays, I imagine a lot of players would just shut down and be like, fuck this.
Go retire from international football, not playing.
He was like, watch, I'll prove you wrong. And I think, especially coming from that team with Sir Alex and stuff, they had that prove you wrong mentality. But I'm a bit like, I don't care about international football. If I did, it's Ireland, like, because my mum's Irish and like maybe I'd like Ireland. Ireland are hardly ever in a tournament anyway, but like international football doesn't do it for me. I wish I could pretend because I'd get loads of other gigs and like in the summer I'd be booked and all these kind of things, but I just can't pretend like I can't pretend to love international football.
I always want England to do well and I'd want them to win it if they were, and all, like when they played in the Euros, I wanted them to win it, but Spain scored at the end in the last one. I was just like, oh well, done well to get there.
I can't half wanted Spain to win that.
No, well that's listen. Everyone's different. Mine ended. I devastated in 1990 when they lost to Germany on penalties and things like that. But probably I wanted them to win in 2004 because of Wayne Rooney and all that. But then after
those things bothered me. Their treatment of Wazza, the treatment of Phil Neville. Remember when Romania, and then it was the treatment of Beckham. Like, and I remember Wembley at the time. I think England played a friendly at Wembley, and I used to watch because there were just so many Man United players playing. And Wembley was singing "Stand Up If You Might Hate Man United" and stuff like that. And it was like, fuck these. You know what I mean? Is that like
quickly goes?
Yeah. You quickly just think, I hope they get battered.
I go back to me club. Back to me club. It's what was your first game? Can you remember your first game?
Sheffield Wednesday. We won 2-0. Then either the end of the 96 season or the start, somewhere around.
Yeah.
I've got the ticket in a frame at home. But yeah, Sheffield Wednesday, we won 2-0. A lot of so at the start, so I never had a season ticket until I was about 16, 17. When I could I couldn't really afford it, but I'd spend what little I worked at Asda and that, like, I was 16. So I'd spend what little money I had on going to the football because I relied upon my dad taking me. But then I learned like there was a supporters club in Birmingham, so I'd jump on the coach and that. But like Sheffield Wednesday was the one, and we used to have memberships. So we'd apply for tickets, like you'd write in a form, send it off, and you'd wait to see if you were lucky, like if the envelope popped through your door and you could tell it was a ticket in the envelope. So we used to apply for games that way. And so I'd get early days, like around then 3 games a season, 4 games, and then it just slowly started getting more and more and more, and then till around the probably like 05, 06, I was going to most home games after that, by hook or by crook, whether, you know, without a season ticket. Memberships were a lot easier to get tickets and stuff. But yeah, Sheffield Wednesday. It's why I have a soft spot for them. You know, when you do your Dream 20 Premier League, like I always want Sheffield Wednesday in there. But yeah, Sheffield Wednesday with a team. I think Scholes may have scored, and
you've done well to remember the game. That's the big thing, isn't it?
No, you can't. Because you can't forget it.
It's that thing, isn't it? When you go and you see the pitch for the first time.
I'd seen it before then, because I think I did like a museum and tour.
Yeah, but when it's a game,
and you go in and you're like, oh, and I still get that feeling today.
Do you?
Like, you know, just walking up. Like I love taking people to their first game, and you know when they see it and you're like, fuck up. I wish I could feel that again. I do still feel overwhelmed by it. That's why I'm a bit scared about us taking Old Trafford away. Because will we lose that feeling? And you know, like that night against Lyon, it's the Europa League. It's not, you know, the greatest night we'll ever have.
It's a game of football.
Old Trafford contributes to that in a weird way. I think just all the history that's there and stuff. And like, to lose that will be disappointing. I'm sad to see Goodison go as well. Yeah, not as sad as you, but I am sad. Do you look at it in a sense that we have to do this, or?
Yeah, I think now. Yeah, I didn't for a long time. So why can't we? Why can't we just redevelop it? Why have we got it? Yeah. And there was talk, but it's the way you've been to Goodison many times. Where it is, there's no real room.
Yeah, because it's car parks onto the road,
car park, road houses. It's like, how do you do it? It's hard for me. I think, to be honest with that, I'm ready to go now. But I've said this a few times lately. At the last game, we played Manchester City, and when this is recorded, and I just sat there and thought, I've only got a couple more games looking at this. My view, my seats.
Will you cry?
I don't know. It's the real.
It's weird, isn't it? You know, it's a building ultimately, but it's like, well, I think it's the same. As well about
the weirdest. It's the weirdest feeling. If United do move and they can't do anything with Old Trafford and they are leaving, that's right. It's the weirdest feeling when
I think they're moving. Do you know where the ticket office is at Old Trafford?
Yeah.
So I think they're moving in that direction. Right, like the stadium will be over there. So it's still basically on the same ground. Yeah. But it's not.
But it's not
Old
the same
Trafford
thing. Yeah. As long as it doesn't look like the circus tent. That was a bit weird. Cause
I think it will look like that, and I'm sure when it comes around, I'll be like, mate, this is amazing. Look at us. We've got fucking great food options. Like, people seem to care about these nowadays. Like, all these footy scram pages have kind of made it like, so these clubs have to have good food options. But I don't want it to happen. And I think if we were successful right now, no one's talking about a stadium.
No.
Not one person's.
Not if you fix the roof, the leak in the roof. That's fixed, you buzzing. No one will say it.
You can change the concourses. You can do different things around it. Do we have to change that? I don't know. Yeah. I hate it.
It's just modern football, mate, sadly, isn't it? What? You go to university, what were you doing?
Yeah, I did.
What did you study?
I stayed in... So basically my whole... I applied to go to Manchester because I thought, be easier going to games. I'll be in Manchester. It'll be good. I got rejected from them. I did law in Birmingham at Birmingham City University, so not the main one.
So you're going to be a lawyer? That was
the plan. But it was almost like, so for my mum's family, I may have been the first one to graduate. I think that's right. And like, my dad never went uni. My mum didn't. Like, they had me when they were like 17. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that was never really on the cards for them. And then. So I went to uni. It was almost like just to get that picture for my mum and my dad.
Oh, okay.
You know, that graduation picture. And I thought being a lawyer would be a good idea. Like, I enjoyed and I was intrigued by law when I did it in history and things like that. But then once I got into it, I just remember thinking, like, in my third year, I remember thinking, if I go for a job interview with anyone in this class, they want it more than me. I won't get the job. Even if I got a 2-1, it's a decent degree, but it's like, my heart's not in this. Right. And then luckily towards the end, like, I was still in uni and I was working for my dad. My dad did like property and stuff like that. And then I saw like a thing saying, are you a United fan, that wants to talk about it? And I just went for it. And then from there it snowballed, and then obviously I'm here today. But yeah, like the original plan was to do law.
Could I ask a small favour? could you please subscribe and like it? Really helps the channel, trying to grow the channel, get more and more of these interviews. So if you like what we do, just give us a little subscribe and let's grow this channel as much as we can do. Now back to the video. You could have been the Right Honourable Mr. McKola.
Yeah, yeah. It's not for me. But I mean, one of the things that probably helped me, like I do always think, imagine if I went and I did like videography or something. I'd be so well geared up. Like everything I do YouTube wise now, I learn off some little geek on YouTube. Type in how do I do this, and then that's how I learned what to do, how to make thumbnail, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I do think like if I did videography, but one of the things it helped me with, so you do advocacy in law, and like so you have like a fake courtroom in your university, and you stand up and you fight your case. And I think that's helped me with like articulating and being able to debate in front of a camera and stuff like that. But yeah, generally I just don't use anything to do with my law degree anymore.
Fair play. So full-time Devils then.
Yeah.
So you see something, you apply for it.
Yeah.
And then,
well, I was active on. Like, do you remember forums and like the old blogs and stuff like that? So there used to be an old. Not old, it still goes now. It's probably the best one, Republica Mancunia. And the fella Scott who runs it. It's weird, I've never met him, but we became good friends. Like, it's mad. We go to all the games and stuff and never bumped into each other. But he had me involved on his forum, like administrating and modding it and all that kind of stuff. So I was involved in the online space and on forums. And then I seen that and I was like, I'll have a look at this. I didn't know, I hadn't seen, because Redmen were the first, and I think Arsenal Fan TV came out just before Full-Time Devils, so I had no knowledge. I didn't really watch anything on YouTube. I had no knowledge of it kind of being a thing. And then I got in touch with them and I was like, yeah, I'll do something. Spoke to someone on Skype, told them what I go to the games, I do this, do that. And then I got invited onto a show on Skype.
Okay.
And then, like, just the keenness of me being like, listen, I'm at this game on Saturday. Do you want me to do something? Or I'm at this game. And eventually it became a point where like, this geezer's keen. We need to do something. Because I clearly had no media credentials. I couldn't really speak in front of camera fluently at that point. And I didn't... You know, when you start, you think you have to be like what's on TV, don't you? And that's not what people want.
No.
And you got to have some time to kind of learn that. And then, like, they saw something in me, like a keenness. And then eventually it became like, right, we'll do Fancams and we'll do this. And then after 2 years, it became a point where my dad was like, listen, 2 or 3 years, you have to choose, like, because I was working for him, I was doing that. Yeah. I was all over the place.
Juggling.
Yeah, and he was like, you need to choose one. And I went, right, I'm going to have to leave the office then and I'll try and make a thing of this, you know what I mean? Probably in the back of my head thinking, if this fails in 6 months, I can go back and work with my dad. My dad will take me back. He's not going to be a bastard about it, you know what I mean? So, and then I left and then it went on from there and it became like 3 days a week, 4 or 5 days a week, and then it just became my job, which is still weird to say.
It is weird.
I still have imposter syndrome. Like, when's this going to end?
We all do. It's weird. No, but it's so weird, isn't it? Because obviously... See, I've said this before just briefly, but I wanted to do Trophy TV in about 2010. Yeah. Right? I hadn't seen anything, but I was thinking, the whole reason was Everton aren't getting talked about anyway. Yeah, and I just wanted to talk about Everton. I couldn't watch it anywhere. And I was like, there was podcasts were few and far between as well. And I was like, it'd be amazing to do like a footy show about Everton. But it was so difficult. It wasn't like you pick a phone up. No, anyone listening to this again who's you'll be like, you just pick your phone up and do it. Wasn't the case. Big cameras and all that. And YouTube at that point was about silly videos.
Yeah, like
it just wasn't that kind of
kids doing stupid things and Charlie bit my finger and like there was no long form content or anything like that.
There was nothing. So that was sort of always germinating in my head. So we waited a few years to do it. But yeah, it was a mad one. And obviously Full-Time Devils became a thing. I mean, the first time you were on camera, were you nervous having to go on?
I remember shitting myself. It was on Skype and I was just like tapping the table and a bit nervous. And I think I can't watch that video back. And I have the link to it, and I know it because it's like it's special to me to look at it and see how far we've come. But I was cacking it.
Well, what about the Fancams then? Because they become huge. I mean, you know, Andy Tate was there before Andrew. Before Andrew Tate, by the way.
Yeah, he's the original.
A very different Andy Tate.
He's the original.
Yeah.
The first ever Fancam I did was with Shane Ward. Remember him off X Factor? He just walked past us pissed, and I just grabbed it. And he grabbed it. I grabbed him, and he just started talking, and it worked. But Andy Tate was a steward at Old Trafford.
Right.
And he used to come and watch the Fancams for weeks. He'd just stand behind the camera. And then when I'd finish the last one, I'd always go, do you want to chat, Andy? And he'd go, nah, thanks, mate.
Yeah.
Not for me. And then about 2 months later, after him watching, like, he went, I'll have a go. And then he just went, boom. From there, like, it was just nuts. And I think the beauty of it was he doesn't swear.
No.
Which is incredible. And he's just a normal guy, just saying exactly what he thinks. And I think that was the beauty of Fancams. We canned them about 3-4 years ago. I think the idea behind it was like doing them every game, I think has lost its purpose. There's no need anymore.
No.
I think, look, if there's a protest, if something big happens, if there's a cup final, if there's this, if there's that, we'll bring them back and we'll do them. And I think that works. But doing them every game was just eventually, it was wearing me down a little bit. I stood outside grounds for 2-3 hours at a time after games, when really my time could be better served in front of a camera, like maybe going live. And I think generally the content and the value of them had dipped. We'd still probably get great views off them, but it just became people going mad for going mad's sake, and they lost the authenticity after a bit. Because everyone sees Arsenal Fan TV and Andy Tate, and they think, "Oh, I can make something of this," and then they try and go viral.
That's obviously we just stayed away from it. We'd done a couple early on, just a few people, but it was like not something I wanted to do. It wasn't. I didn't want our club portrayed like that. Of someone maybe going, I'm going to do this for shouty sake, or you know what I mean, that kind of thing. So it's something we stayed away from, just concentrate on the other side of it. You know? We
did have there was a few like editorial things. Something, you know, where you go,
can't do it. Yeah,
that's not for me. Like, it'll get a lot of views, but I don't want that reputation for the channel.
Oh, I'm not saying it was just something for us. For that
it makes sense.
We were just like, no, go to Matt and come home, and that's just the way it is. I'd rather get people onto the show. We want to talk about it, and then in a different environment. But I understand. I mean, the Andy Tate one, we all watched Andy Tate.
Also, he's like, he was right. Do you know what I mean?
He did a bit harsh on Moisey. But, you know,
I mean,
the fool comment.
He went viral because he has an accent. And, you know, what he said was funny, but when you listen to it, he was pretty damn spot on.
I've noticed he's back. He's back on. I've seen it.
No, we've always.
He disappeared, obviously, because if you're not doing Fancams, he's not safe.
So he disappeared at the time because online he was getting a lot of abuse. And it got weird where, like, people were. I remember listening to the radio at some point, and TalkSport was on, and they were talking about him and Wildstone Raider, and like getting people to find them and stuff. And it was like someone had phoned up, like, I'm by his house now, and it was like, what the hell are you doing here? And then he was working in like Asda, he was getting stick there, and like we've always kept him close by. We've always give him, you know, some work because without Andy Tate, I probably don't have a career. I'm very well aware of his impact on the channel and impact on me. Because for a year or two, I was the Andy Tate guy. Yeah, like, that was. Oh, you're the Andy Tate guy. Yeah. I guess I am.
Yeah.
So yeah, but if he was a bit more tech savvy, he probably has his own stuff going on right now. Yeah. It's just not him.
Yeah. No, but that authenticity is what people love, isn't it? It's what people love.
But it's mad. He worked at Old Trafford. Like I said, he was a steward. And do you remember the day when I think we played Villa, and someone flew a banner over the ground saying Moyes out or something, and he was working for the club, and because his fan cam went viral, like he was standing there as a steward, and 2 geezers come up to him, took his identity badge, and just escorted him off the premises. Like he lost his job.
Lost his job because of it. Yeah.
Like he was nuts.
I suppose the club won't. There'll be different.
Yeah, well, you can't work for them and criticise the owners.
You just can't. You just mentioned something there about Andy Tate. What about yourself with comments? Do you worry about comments? Did it affect you at first? Have you changed over the years?
I used to. They used to get to me. And I used to have like my mum like trying to reply. Well, actually, he's not a wanker. He's actually a really nice boy. Yeah. It's like, Mum, just leave it out. It's just the internet. I've learned to accept it's the internet. People are going to do stuff like that. I probably would have done it 20 years ago.
Really?
Like, you know, if Robbie Savage said something stupid, I'd probably put a comment saying he's a knob. You know, like, that's how people are, innit? And I think when they meet you, they're all very different to your face. Or they go, oh, actually, he's sound. It's like, yeah, because my football opinions aren't the whole person.
No.
So I've learned not to get affected by them, but they did used to play on my mind. And I've like turned my Twitter mentions off and stuff like that. Because there was a period of time where it was just like, oh, I can't.
Even something you say that's not like it. It's Wednesday today, and people take offence at it. And it is. I think it is difficult. I do, but I think people say whatever, and we're not built as human beings to receive that kind of feedback.
Or like instant and
constant. And if you were in a room with these people and you said something and they didn't agree with it, they just go, oh no, I don't agree with that. Or you can go, you're a blah blah blah, would they? And it is that little sort of space. We're seeing it. People get horrific stuff, don't they? Higher profile and all that. But it is a difficult one to sort of get your head around, I think. And
sometimes I buy it. And it was like, I tweeted someone last week, like, I quoted the Miles video, and Miles said something stupid, and someone's like, "Oh, this guy's a fucking idiot," and all this, like, and you're a knob as well, something like that. And I was like, mate, when you're sat in the pub with if you have any mates, when you're sat in the pub with your mates, and there's 6-7 of you around a table, and you're watching the football, I promise you, about 10 stupid things have been said in that moment.
Absolutely,
like, he's said Van Dijk shit, and he said Ronaldo's the worst. Like, people are saying stupid shit, but because there's no camera there's no evidence.
Goes, doesn't it?
Like, everyone, we all have them. That's the beauty of talking about football. We all think crazy things. So yeah, I think people just then start to take you as like a character. You're not a person anymore.
It is weird, isn't it?
It's fine though, isn't it? No, you take it. Like,
you've got to take it, haven't you?
Mate, some of the highs of this job and the pros of this job are just outweigh everything. Like, it's nuts. It's not a job, but
but that is the thing. Were you surprised at how big Full-Time Devils got, and what was it like when you started getting recognised at Old Trafford and everywhere else again?
I hated it a bit at times, because you know, like going in away ends, and because it's the away, there's a core away fans who will hate things like that.
Yeah.
And look, I'm not from Manchester, so people will also have a problem with that. But I have been going all my life, so you know, there's that. But yeah, like I did hate like going in away ends and feeling like, does he hate me? Does it like it does? You know, I don't care anymore. Like, I think people kind of accept it if they don't like me. If they do like me, like, he's a proper fan. Do you know what I mean? He's not just putting it on. But yeah, like, getting recognised was weird. I remember the first weird to like be getting recognised outside Old Trafford. You kind of expect it to, because those are the people that are going to watch you. I think I went on a holiday to like Barbados in 2015, and like we arrived really late, and we just looked for the first restaurant, seen somewhere, jump in there, and the waiter came up and was like, "Oh my God, Adam McKola," and I was like, "Wait, I'm on a different continent here, like." How the hell do you know who I am? And then there was moments like in Singapore where, mate, genuinely I felt, you know when you see them videos of Michael Jackson and people are just screaming in his face, there was a few people, like, it was just like we walked to the ground. It was like you come out the train station and then you walk to the ground. It's like an L shape, probably about half a mile. And it took me probably about 2 hours to walk. Like, it was just like one kid ran up to me just screaming, grabbing my shirt, like, and it was just like, whoa, what is going on here?
Yeah.
This is not. Yeah. And because I loved Anthony Marshall, and I love him, I still love him. Like outside the pub, everyone started singing the Marshall song, but directed at me, and it was like, how do people know? Like, it's just, it was just mental. But like, yeah, I enjoy it, man. It's nuts, and you get all sorts of different ages. I remember America was the first pre-season tour I did, and outside a stadium, I can't remember what stadium it was. It's probably 1,000 Southies, and it's like moms and dads and kids and teenagers, and you're just like, I didn't know this was going on. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's weird,
you kind of don't see it. But yeah, it's unreal, man. It's unreal. It's weird, but it's unreal.
No, it is. It's totally not.
But I embrace it, man. Like, I love it. Like, now, we had a show in Dublin like a couple of years ago, and everyone stayed back to like take pictures and stuff, and I was like, getting stuck in by everyone around. Like, just like, enjoy it, man. Like, be normal. Like, don't let it change you.
No.
Like, just, embrace that shit, man.
Yeah.
And I think some people can let it change them or get a little bit too cocky, and I never want to be that guy. Like I said, I got imposter syndrome. I think it's going to end tomorrow.
Yeah. No, what it is, it's such a strange thing, isn't it? How do you find the sort of reaction to like what we do, like independent media, fan media? Do you think within the industry? I mean, because obviously it's a very different thing. It's still we found and speak to loads of different people. It's still a bit stuffy at times. People's views on it, not fans, people who work within it. Is that how you look at it?
I think that I use my experience with like the once great MEN, which is now a glorified blog, right? But like I remember we were in a press box at Blackburn for a cup game, and it was the very first stages of us getting press access.
Yeah.
And one of the journalists, I won't name him, but he knows who he is. I fucking hate him. He wrote in his blog, like, the Man United fan channel have been allowed in the press box. Like, we printed it out and put it on my wall because it kind of just kept me fucking going. And it was kind of like, who the fuck are they? Why are they here? Kind of dig, like, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, who the fuck are you? First of all, like, you went uni, got a degree, fair enough, and you managed to get a job as a thing, and now you get to go to football games. You weren't going to games, spending your own money, going there, doing that. And that's the thing, we're genuine, real people who love the clubs that we cover. And yes, we might get things wrong, or yes, we might do some mad shit, or say, emotional, but we're real people. And I think they're scared of what we bring, because we bring a different, like, they're redundant now. Unless you're Fabrizio Romano, or David Ornstein, or a proper journalist who's doing his journalism and, doing proper reads, and look, there's plenty more that I haven't named there, then you are irrelevant compared to us. Like, we have ended that. And they've had to adapt to what we're doing. You're now seeing journalists in media rooms doing like reaction videos and things like that. Yeah. They have to conform to what we're doing. And I think it's fear more than anything. And it's also like, a lot of these guys, it's like a bunch of working class lads being let into the media room, like, just like, they're not happy about that, you know what I mean?
I've done journalism as part of my degree, do you know what I mean? So I could turn around and go, well, I just didn't choose to follow that path, and you wouldn't have been any, I just find it weird. It's not all, there's loads of great journalists and loads of nice people, but I think that's what it is.
And they try and portray themselves as football fans, but ultimately, they're not. You don't know anything what it's like to be a football fan. You don't go home and away, spend your own money, do all those different things. Like, their experience,
drink it in day and night.
Very different to what we do.
No, absolutely.
But I think it's fear.
Yeah. Does it annoy you, or you just sort of just get on with it?
It annoys me. Yeah. But at the same time, I like it.
Does it? Let me ask you this: does it annoy you in terms of sort of press access then? Because I don't know about you and your, but it is difficult. We've tried to get at Toffee TV, tried to get accreditation for a number of years off the Premier League, but they won't.
No, Premier League won't. You have to be You have to have a certain card to be able to get the Premier League one's like a global
I know, but it's
thing, isn't it? It's
what's
really
ridiculous
difficult.
is they'll say the reason why they won't do it is because you're not allowed to follow a team. So journalists can't follow a team, but it's nonsense because journalists cover that team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's mad, and it's like you could even go, okay, we'll do it on views then. Do it on readership then. That should be a real way to do it. But if I've got a hospital radio channel, I can get it. And that, right, I'm not dismissing that. What I'm saying is you never even you can't even get in the conversation because they just go, no, you need a paper and pen and you need to put it in a thing and you can't get it. So I find it a little bit weird. Not for everything, but I just find it a little bit mad.
Yeah, I think so. For pre-seasons, we get full access.
Yeah.
Europa League games, Champions League games, never in there at the moment, but we get access if we want it. I don't like watching football from the media.
No.
So like on pre-seasons and when I do have it, I'll go do everything, go to the mix zone and I'm straight into the stands.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be sat next to all these journalists. This is not for me.
No.
So, and that kind of regard, I wouldn't swap it for my seat in the Stretford end anyway.
No.
So I don't want it. But as a channel, it'd be beneficial to us. You get in the mixer and all these kind of things.
I just want it for us, just for certain things. That's it. I wouldn't want to do what that, like you say, I wouldn't swap my sound shit, go with me lad. I wouldn't move to go and sit in a press box with journalists. I don't care, because they're not fans.
Yeah.
That's not what I couldn't sit there and not be screaming and just putting down and kissing the next random stranger by me or whatever if it's an important goal. They're not random because they're season ticket holders, but you know what I mean. And you're right, I think it's that mix that I suppose we bring.
I wouldn't want to be there, but we do. Like, there's been United are a bit more relaxed with us now, although I think they do that to kind of keep us in the tent pissing out rather than whatever that saying is. But they are difficult. I remember early days they were really I got in 2015 again. I got invited by Chevrolet to America, and the video was like, you're going to be in a car driving Wayne Rooney around interviewing him for Chevrolet, and I was like, mate, when do you want me there? I'm getting in. And then United went, nah, they can't do that. And then there's been I think we had an interview lined up with Dwight York. I think Google or someone was setting it up, and the United went, nah, they can't be here. So they've X'd us off lists a lot of times, and that's because we are anti-Glazers, anti-club. But then now you see all these fan channels getting access, and it's like, we fucking made that happen because we've been knocking on the door for so long that now Tom, Dick and Harry's getting in there. So but it doesn't bother me.
No, I just find it mad that some of the media certainly with my club destroyed the football club and still get given stuff, and yet when you're there promoting the club every day, they're not interested.
That's what winds me up as well.
It's a bit weird.
Like you have journalists from The Sun and scumbags like that in your press room every week. They write lies in the paper. They rip your manager. They rip your players to shreds. They'll have all sorts of headlines, but then you welcome them back every other week. But we go, oh, that was fucking shit, or the owners need to fix it up, and it's like, well, they can't come in. What's going on here?
That's what I'm talking about. I do find that crazy. Does it annoy you if people dismiss it, your job? As in, it's easy to do or whatever.
When someone asks you what you do, what do you say? Do you say YouTuber?
Yeah, I think,
It's weird, isn't it?
People say, because you go, well, I've got a YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
That's it. I present footy on a YouTube channel.
It's weird, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. But I've got a podcast too.
No, I get why people find it weird.
Yeah.
But if they did it, I think once people do it, you see so many people try to do something, and it just doesn't work, and then they fizzle out. Even myself, I've tried to do other things, podcasts with my mate or whatever, and they just fizzle out because, I don't know, maybe you need to have a little bit of passion in there and keep it
hard though, isn't it?
It's also graft, isn't
it's hard. What I mean by hard, I've done it. My job I did before this was a million times harder, and it was real. Obviously, social work. It was really hard going. It's just hard because you don't, especially because it's your club. I wonder if someone else took you and went, oh, you're a really good presenter, Adam, will you come and present our sports show? it'd be slightly different because you wouldn't be living it. But because you're doing it for Manchester United, you're never off, are you? Even when you're not on camera.
We were talking about that earlier with Paul, and it we're all the same in that. You never switch off. You never. And part of it is that imposter syndrome. Like, if I switch off, I'm finished. I have to keep going. So it
can be tricky.
It's a weird one.
It can be tricky. How do you think our space has changed then in the time you've been doing it? So obviously we're talking earlier, you were on Skype and then you were doing fan reactions and then into the studio and all of the stuff you've done. How's that space changed in terms of what we do?
I think like nowadays there's a lot more investment into it. It's a lot less. Look, and granted, I joined a channel that was already started, but luckily we own it now and it's our channel and we do what we want with it. But I think it's a lot less raw. Like now it's more coordinated. Maybe there's big backers behind, maybe there's companies behind it, maybe there's this, maybe there's that. And everyone recognises there's a chance, there's money to be made, there's a chance to be had and all these kind of things. Whereas when I started, I didn't know I could make money out of it. You know, I don't know how you look at it. It's like, I just did it because I loved it and I wanted to do it and I wanted to be a little bit geeky and talk about football all the time. And then it happened. So yeah, one thing on that though, like just touching on your other question as well, do you hate, like, because when I watched your interview with Wayne Rooney, I feel like that's one of the best interviews that a football fan channel has done. And I've had interviews like that where I go, no one's beating that. Like that, like my Andy Cole interview, my Raval Morrison interview. I did one with Jesse Lingard where he kind of broke, like it broke the news on kind of like his mental health issues and stuff like that. And we've done some great interviews, but then we get boxed off as like just gobshites. Yeah. Like no one takes us as seriously as like what we do with our craft. Yeah. And we got some fucking great videos out of it, man. Like I say, that Rooney video, I tell you this a lot, like it's one of my favourite videos, man. And that's one of the things that probably frustrates me a little bit. Like, take us seriously. Yeah. Like, give us big interviews. We will fucking smash them out of the park. And we've got, it's like, you know, when we're on the overlap, right? I think there's very few people like this, to be fair, on the overlap that do it, because there's a lot of younger fans. But like, me and you will pull out some things out of the bag where, like, remember when I said, you know, when they ask us to ask a question, and I'll just be like, I haven't got a fucking question. Yeah. But yeah, Scholesy, what about this? Remember when you went blind, or remember when you refused to play? And there's some people that don't even know these things happen. And we can bring a different angle to these interviews because we lived it. We were there. We had opinions at the time. We felt it. And like, I think that's what makes some of these videos for us as well. Like, being able to go, Scholesy, remember when you refused to play for Sir Alex Ferguson? And some people don't even know that happened. No. Don't even know it happened.
I didn't know. I didn't know till you brought it up, and then they hear it and you go,
and he's like, he went blind at say blurred vision at St Andrews. Not many people remember that. They obviously probably lived it at the time and knew it happened, but yeah, I think that's what separates us as well. Being able to just reach for some mad references that not many people will get.
It is weird, isn't it? Because we've had some really good interviews, and it's the people, isn't it, who are answering. It's not me asking the questions, great, but it's their answers. And yeah, they're watched, but then sometimes I'll see someone speaking, or someone's took a quote from another thing that's got about 300 views, and like the Echo put an article around it, and I'm going, this fella's dropped about 40 exclusives here, and you haven't picked it up or referenced it, and it's almost like. And again, someone told me, I don't know whether it's real or not, but it's that competitor thing, so they won't.
And I think footballers react well to us because I think they hate speaking to journalists. So then when you've got someone that genuinely cares and genuinely remembers things and knows things about your career, I think you get a different response from them. And that's why, like I said, your interview was so good.
Well, yeah, I done one of these with Conor Cody. And he was fantastic. He was absolutely fantastic. Sat here for, I think the interview's 2.5 hours, and he was sat on the couch before and after for about. He come for about 3.5 hours, and I'm like, I don't want to take up any more of your time. He was unbelievable. He's a fantastic talker, intelligent, great insight into lots of different things. When he finished, he was like, I loved that. He went, all the lads, I'd love to do this. And I was like, we've asked the
Get
club.
them out.
Asked the club loads of times. The club just ignore it. The club just go, I can't do it. And like,
the way around it is not the club, innit?
Yeah,
you have to find your angles.
You have to you have to somehow get to the player. And if the player wants to do it, the club can't really tell them what to do. Or ex-players. But no, it is. You get across, and it is a different interview. A journalist will ask. They're brilliant at what they do. Don't get me wrong, some of the journalists, but it's a different kind of interview, isn't it? And listen, it is what it is. I've got to ask you about Mark Goldbridge, because obviously in the Manchester United space, people talk about him, and
I don't consider him competition to us in the sense that I don't think we do the same thing.
No.
I just genuinely, I think when you watch,
I didn't mean it as competition. I just meant what.
No, I mean people put us in the same bag because we're both apparently Man United fan channels, but we're not the same. We're not the same.
Yeah,
and I think we might not get better views, but I think when you look at our product, I'm so much prouder of what we do.
Of what you do.
And yeah, it's just like, again, it's not for me.
Yeah.
Authenticity is key for me. And I don't think it's very authentic.
He's good at what he does. No, what I mean is the character, how he plays, like, a character, and some lines of fun and stuff like that.
Imagine, like, I just decided to make a YouTube channel tomorrow and I'm a bit of an Arsenal fan. I could say the maddest shit.
Yeah.
And not care, because it doesn't affect me.
You're not going to go to the game. You're not going to walk amongst them fans.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
That is one of the things that I find is mad as well. Not about Mark, just in general. You see it with different things. It's like, I ain't going to sit on our channel and say mad things, because I've got to go to match and walk with amongst these people. I'm one of them. I'm an Evertonian, you know. So therefore, I'm not going to. And I do find it mad with certain things you see, not just Mark, other channels, and you get big views, and it's like, would you say that if you were going to that ground every other week and people are around and you know what I mean, that kind of thing? And I do feel like that space is a bit mad.
Yeah, it's a bit. Well. But then I think we, you know, like if I asked everyone in the Stretford and what colour our shirt is, I don't think many people would agree on that. Football fans, football fans just disagree on everything.
Yeah. I'm colourblind, so that
But it's like, if you went, what colour's our shirt? It was red. It was kind of red. It's like, that's not.
I'd be like, is it red?
You know what I mean? That's blood red, actually. It's like, wait, we can't agree on that. Like, I don't think football fans genuinely agree on everything. When you drive home from the game, and there's 4 of you in the car, let's say,
they'll be different.
Everyone disagrees on everything, right? Yeah. But there are some things that, and I think, like, seeing, you know, when fans attack their own fan base, it's like, it's weird that. It's like, it's just very weird. But yeah, again, it's not for me.
Yeah, no worries. What happened with Full-Time Devils? Because it seemed to be huge, and then it seemed to go quiet. Because obviously we met doing like the social club here with Ball Street and stuff like that, didn't we? We were doing all that, and then that sadly disappeared as well. But it disappeared, and then it became the Stretford Paddock. So
what happened?
What actually happened?
So it was owned by Shot Glass.
Yeah.
And then they sold it to Social Chain, who's Steve Bartlett and that.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
And they made loads, like, he was like, oh, I'm a Man United fan. Made loads of promises. I really want to do well with this channel or whatever, X, Y, Z. And then over the course of, I can't remember how long they owned it, but maybe 2 years leading up to COVID, they just stripped everything back. We didn't have a permanent cameraman. Like, we had to, like, so Social Chain had people that were cameramen, and we'd have to, like, rent, like, you know, like, oh, we need him today, or we need him. We never had someone always there.
Oh, okay.
And then myself, who, again, like I told you, I learn everything off YouTube. I don't know how to make a thumbnail, don't know how to edit videos. I'm just a gobshite. And Jay, who's even worse than me in terms of editing and thumbnails and things like that, me and him were doing everything.
Right.
Like, making the videos, presenting the videos, editing the videos, making the thumb, like, everything. And the quality did drop massively. And as a result, you obviously have competition, people coming through. As a result, like, the views dropped off, everything dropped off. And the channel just kind of felt dead, even though it was still alive. It was still going. And then it got to around, just before COVID, they told me, you're going to be made redundant. And in my head, I'm like, I'm the channel.
I'm doing everything. Yeah.
I am the face of the channel, and I'm also, me and Jay are the heartbeat of the channel right now. So you're killing this channel. And imagine what Social Chain did and do a lot is buy big social media pages and then just pump shite out on them so you can get views and then sell those views to sponsors. And I imagine they would have turned it into like an aggregator or some shite like that. And then just before I went redundant, I got put on furlough because of COVID, which saved me. Like,
did they?
And then obviously from there we just, myself, Steve, Jay, and Joe, we just decided to make a deal with them to buy the channel, and then they got me off furlough and all that kind of stuff. And then we bought the channel, changed the name. I was never keen on Full-Time Devils anyway. Changed the name. The Stretford Paddock is obviously used to be part of the Stretford end. And then, just went from there. And now we've got it back to where it was, in my opinion. We've got permanent offices in Manchester, which I think is key as well. Look, I'm not from Manchester, but if you have a fan channel, a Man United fan channel, you got to be in Manchester. If you're in London or somewhere else, where it's fucking stupid, right? Yeah. So I'm proud that, like, we take people in from the universities, the local universities, and give people jobs around there. We've built up some staff. Joe and Jay are fucking incredible with what they do in terms of the daily running of the channel and always regularly on the videos. And then myself and Steve will just come in 2 days a week, 3 days a week, and just make videos. But once we brought it changed everything. Like, it rescued the channel. Otherwise, I think at that point maybe it dies, and then my career dies with it. Like, if I don't get put on furlough at that point. So that's what happened. It did die. So, like, what you're saying is true. Like,
it just seemed to be everywhere. Then it was nowhere. That's what I mean. And it was like, where's that even a thing? Obviously, you still saw you around, but it was like, is that even a thing? And then, obviously, no stay anyway from stay loads of times. So then it was back in amongst
and it was like
again.
We look like when me, Jay, Joe, and Steve are on. It just feels like I'm at home. I'm with my mates. Like, you know what I mean? Like those, I love those boys. Like, and to be able to make videos with them on a regular. It's not that I didn't love the people we worked with before, but these are genuine friendships, like genuine relationships. It's like, in this industry, I could get so many more views and subscribers by just making tactical little decisions and working with people. But a lot of it for me is just organic. Do I like you? Yeah, let's do it. Like with yourself, like me and you've always been quite friendly at like overlap shoots and different shoots, and I like it. We message each other, and that's why I'm doing this. Like, I don't want to do things just because I think, oh, they'll make our channel bigger. Or do things because you want. And I think organically is best. And that's what we've pretty much got now with us. Like.
And you get the authenticity with that, don't you?
And it's like Jay's been going the game all his life. Steve's been going all his life. I've been going all mine. Joe, like, we're all just fucking
fully
genuine
embedded
United fans, you know what I mean? It's like, it's good, man. I enjoy it. I love it. And when we get to go off in the summer and pre-season tours and just have a holiday. Lads' holiday. Don't tell anyone.
No. If only no one knew. Where do you think, where can it go then? Like, sort of, what sort of, do you have a plan? Is it ever a plan of, like, we want to do this, just year by year, just keep
it going. Obviously, you want to get bigger, and but I don't think subscribers are important. Whether you've got 100k or 1 million, if the content's not good enough, you're not going to get the views. No. So I think making good content's important. I want to do more of those interviews to showcase, like, because I think I'm a really good interviewer, so to showcase things like that and stuff, but just keeping it going. I really enjoy doing the live shows as well.
Do you?
Like, we've had a few in Dublin that we've done, and we'll always bring a player with us because I'm not egotistical enough to think we can charge people tickets to come and see us clowns on a stage doing stuff we do for free. But, like, we will always bring a player. We had Chucky with us, Wes Brown. We've had a few good shows like that. So, I like doing the live shows. I'd like to do more of them. I think the plan is for us to do one on every stop in America in the pre-season, which would be good. So, like, I do want to do more of those things, but generally just keep it going, man. Keep it going. Keep the team together that we've got, and keep it going. Because
that's as far ahead as you think.
Like, it's like I say, like, I keep thinking it's going to end. So if I'm still doing this next year, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It is a weird space, isn't it? It's a weird thing to think, well, but it does. You're absolutely right. It relies on views, doesn't it? It relies on, can you make the good content? You make the good content, people will watch. That's the plan anyway, isn't it? That's what you hope. But obviously, it's all governed. A lot of it's governed by Manchester United, which fortunately for us,
whether it's positive or negative in terms of the football, we're always a story. Do you know what I mean?
Huge club. One of probably the top 2 most famous clubs in the world.
Real Madrid probably.
Real Madrid are probably bigger, but then United put a story in worldwide and history and all that. It's there, isn't it? Obviously, you've got other clubs in there up there as well, but United are always a story. What do you think of the Glazers then?
Can't stand them. I've been consistent about that since 2005 though. Like, just can't stand them. I was never one of those that could stop going to the game because I feel like there was a quote in Gary Neville's autobiography. I'm nicking this from, but like where he goes, no matter who's in the director's box or who's in the shirts or whoever, like who's sat next to me or whatever, I support this club. Like I want to be there to support them, and that's something that's like I want to be there. Like regardless of who the owners are, I'm going to be there to support them. But the Glazers for me are just the worst thing that's ever happened to Manchester United. Like you look at the money, $1 billion they've taken out of the club in just interest payments and dividends and all this kind of stuff. We still got $500 million worth of debt. Like there's talk about trying to raise $2 billion for a stadium. I mean, there's $2 billion gone nearly there. So I think when you just look at what they've done, and the fact that you can't even buy a club like that anymore shows you how dodgy it was. I know we nearly ended up in the hands of Rupert Murdoch, and it was always kind of possible with the PLC and things like that. But yeah, Fergie's issues with JP and McManus really did fuck us up, innit? The Rock of Gibraltar.
Knock. Who are if you had to pick 3 of the best players you've ever seen play for Manchester United, I know it's a tough one because you've obviously had hugely successful.
Eric Cantona. The 3 is difficult.
It's tough, isn't it?
I was going to say Rooney, Ronaldo. But then you got Giggs and Scholes and Keane. But I think Cantona, Rooney, Ronaldo.
Them 3.
I think Rooney's the best player we've probably ever had. Like just as a whole package, career-wise, everything. Just phenomenal, man.
Backs it up, goals, assists.
But Cantona was just like nuts. And then Ronaldo, do you know just that 06 to 09 period where he went, I'm going to be the best player in the world, watch this. And then he did it. Nothing like it. That's why I get mad when people go, you know what, Salah's the best player. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, you're forgetting what we've seen. Like, but yeah, those 3 probably with honourable mentions to Giggs, Scholes and Keane.
You've left some hell of a... Well, yeah, then pick your favourite... Sorry, not your favourite. I'll do your favourite goal in a minute. Pick your best 5-a-side Manchester United team then. I'll give you 5 to name.
Rio's the centre-back. I think Rio's the best centre-back I've ever seen.
Yeah. Michael goalie, obviously.
Yeah, although the cartwheeling for City has kind of annoyed me a bit with him. But, what you cartwheel like? He left, This is what annoyed me. He left to go like, gonna go get some sun or whatever. We went to Sporting Lisbon or something. And he ended up back at Villa and Man City and all this, and cartwheeling against Man United. Like, what the fuck's going on there? But no, it's probably Schmeichel in goal. Although I tend to say Van der Sar sometimes, just out of pure bitterness. Rio, Wazza, Scholes, Ronaldo.
So even though Cantona is the best ever, you wouldn't put him in your 5-a-side team?
I just think 5-a-side... Different
skill set. And it gives you the chance to get Paul Scholes in there.
Scholes would be class at 5-a-side.
What would be your... If you had to pick one, what would be... Because I get asked this about Goodison because it's going, but I'm just asking you this about Manchester United. What's been your favourite goal from that? Okay,
so best goal and favourite goals, 2 different...
Go on, then we'll do both.
So best goal I've ever seen is Wazza's against Newcastle, or Scholes against Villa. Both volleys.
Both volleys, yeah.
Both out of this world.
So Rooney's arguing with the ref and then volleys it with the cop on.
That's just wazzer.
That was just like him. Yeah.
You went, show me a clip that epitomises Wayne Rooney. You go that one. So one of them two.
Scholes are
fortunate to seen it as well. But favourite goal. There's so many. There's like you got the Michael Owen 4-3 against City, which was phenomenal.
Solskjaer, Bayern Munich.
Solskjaer, Bayern, because I wasn't there in it, so it's like I'm trying to pick goals where I was there for them. Yeah, I was there for them.
Fair show.
I remember there was a goal Beckham scored, which was just unreal against Birmingham City, which sticks in my mind. His free kick against Barcelona in a 3-3 draw. There was another goal. What goal was I thinking of then? There's another goal that popped into my favourite goal. Scott McTominay against Man City.
A few Man City goals in it.
I can't stand. Well, I just can't stand strong words. I didn't think Scott McTominay was a great player for Man United. I'm glad he went. But the goal he scored against City, and there's a reason for this. Like, it was the last game before we shut down for COVID.
Yeah.
So it's the last game with a full stadium. We're 1-0 up. The ball gets cleared to him and he lobs the keeper. And that, like, I remember celebrating that. And then, you know when you're stood on the chair celebrating and then you go, hold on a minute, let me just look around and take this in. I did that and I just remember seeing all these limbs thinking, I mean, my hair's standing up now, thinking we're not going to get to do this ever again. Because that's how it felt at the time.
Because COVID.
Like, this is over. Like, we're never going to be this close to each other again. And just looking at the scenes around a stadium was just like, wow, this is nuts. This is nuts. Like, so yeah, it's possibly that one as well. Although Rooney scored a great goal against AC Milan, last minute winner.
You've named 20.
Yeah.
You've got so many memories, haven't you? That it is so difficult when someone goes, limit it down. Who's the favourite person you've ever interviewed?
Eric Cantona or Andy Cole. But the reason getting to interview Eric Cantona was wow. But I feel I didn't produce that interview. So the questions we asked, like, I think we did it wrong.
Right, okay. Like,
we asked the audience for questions. We asked him about, like, modern day football and things like that. And I just thought it was a waste of time. If you're going to interview Eric Cantona, ask him about him and his career and all that kind of thing. And I just think the direction we took it wasn't the one, even though in the moment I enjoyed, I'll just buzzing to be there. But he's also very difficult to interview because when he speaks, he pauses. And you know, you do, like,
don't know how to jump in.
do I speak now or do I let him speak? And you don't want to ruin the flow of what he's saying. But the Andy Cole one for me was just because I'd never heard him speak how he spoke to us. Like, some of the things I remember when he spoke about, like, he said, like, people compare me to all these players and that, like, put some respect on my name, look at what I achieved. And I like just hearing him say things like that. He spoke about his illness, spoke about his relationship with his wife, spoke about so many different things. And it was one of them where he arrived, he sat down, he obviously has to take medication for his issue that he has, his kidney issue. And then, so he needed to eat. So now we have to wait for him to eat. And it's like, mate, you take your time, whatever. But I thought, we're eating into interview time here. This is going to ruin it. Because now he's going to have already been here for an hour before we've started. But then it was like you, Conor Cody, like, the interview just went on. Like 90 minutes, I think we chatted to him. And, like, no one's done an interview like that with Andy Cole. No one's got some of the things out of him like that with Andy Cole. And I think we did everything right. You know how, like, with Cantona, I go, oh, we should have focused on him. We did with that. And I think it shows in the interview. So, yeah, I think the Andy Cole one's my favourite.
That's always the best way, though, isn't it? If you focus on the person, that's really what it should be about, shouldn't it? Also,
it's like, it doesn't age the video.
Yeah.
So that you can always, like, that's always there as an Andy Cole video. Like, if you watch it now, it's not going to be, we don't talk about any scores or any the current manager or anything like that. And I think we wasted some of the time with Eric doing that.
It's, again, no, it's difficult, isn't it? You look and go, you're trying to please everybody, I guess, with the different questions, aren't you?
Yeah, and you want to, because the audience have got us here, you want to include them in it, when really the audience would have just loved me to go, Eric, talk to me about this and that, and, you know, retiring, and you made me, I didn't even know what retired meant when you retired. Like, you know, shit like that, like just talking about that rather than, oh, what did you think? Because I think Evra just kicked a fan for Marseille, and we asked him about that, and it's like, what are we doing here? Yeah. Like, don't do it. So, yeah, the Andy Cole one.
The Andy Cole sounds amazing. What do you think about modern football? We talked before, and this wasn't going to be in because I haven't got it on my list, but just we were having a chat, weren't we, before about certain players, and it was like a lot of it now just seems so robotic. And
are we nostalgia merchants, or are we right?
I think it's a bit of both. I think we are, because I think everyone will. The generation who were growing up now, in 10 years ago, it was better when you know, this was happening. You know, when Mo Salah, or when it was whoever. You know, Harry Kane, Tottenham, whatever. But we were just talking before about players, and you're just reeling off. You know, players who
everyone had stars as well.
You say, you know, looking behind, you know, Zlatan and, you know, Gabriel Batistuta and Christian Vieri, remember him, and all of these strikers who were just passed over. Adriano, Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, you know, and Davids. There's so many.
It's like, because we had that Football Italia era as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
Channel 4, like we said, football wasn't really televised as much. You didn't get 90 minutes, so on a Sunday, we got 90 minutes of Italian football, and you got Jim Richardson talking about all the goals, and we watched it because that was on. And I remember being introduced to so many players like that. Like Adriano, I remember him playing at Parma, and he scored a hat-trick in a game. And I think he twatted one in from like the half line. And it was like, oh my God, who's this guy?
Yeah.
He's incredible. I do think football's worse now, though. I think as a fan, going to the game, it's worse. The football we see, I think managers have become the stars, so footballers can't be like Jack Grealish is the best example. Look, if you ask Jack Grealish, was it worth going to Man City, he's going to say yes. I won the treble. Yeah, I've achieved my dreams. But is he a better player since Pep Guardiola's coached him? I don't think so. So I think, football was better back then. I don't think we're just nostalgia merchants. I think going to the game was better. Being a fan was better. Watching the players was better. Even like, you look at some of the players that, remember the depth of striker England had at one point? Like Robbie Fowler, Andy Cole never got picked.
We ain't getting in,
And now they'd be England's best strikers. And there was so many of them that just weren't getting picked. I think football's...
There was a big discussion whether Alan Shearer should be England's number 9. He was banging.
That around Euro 96?
He was banging like 30 goals in, and people are going, nah, it's not good enough. Because there was so many, Les Ferdinands of the world, and there was just Ian Wright. There were tons, wasn't there? And even
Sheringham. You had so many of the strikers in that era that were just nuts.
It's mad, isn't it? It is weird how football's gone.
But it's all about managers turning these players into robots now. And they play so much football.
Yeah, and we know everything, don't we? That, in a way, it's great. It's obviously for what we do as well. It's great. You can get lots of information and stats and everything, and try to weigh it all up. But in the other way, it took away the mystique and loving these like tournaments.
Do you remember like refreshing like teletext in the morning?
Page 401.
To see the gossip column and stuff. It's like, that's gone now. Or getting the phone cut off because your phone club call.
£4 a minute or something. And they'd say, like, if it was United in talks to sign this striker. But really last Tuesday, they painted the Stretford end, and they'd get it right the way through, charge you £31 to tell you something.
A bit like our videos, I guess. Well, you know. Got to hit that 8-minute mark somehow.
8 minutes. Don't charge £4 a minute, do we? That's the thing. A couple of fast-paced questions for you, so they're a bit random. So just whatever comes into your head. Okay. What's the meaning of life?
Fucking hell. Jesus Christ, way too early to be asking that. What's the meaning of life?
As you see it.
You know what, I don't know if this even answers the question, but I'm going to go with it. I'm so scared of death.
Snap.
You know, sometimes I lie in bed like, oh my God, one day I'm going to die. And I still to this day, like, it used to be a bigger thing when I was younger, but like, I have that fear of, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And I'm not, you know, you speak to some people and they're like, well, whatever happens, happens. I'm like, how can you be like that?
How are you so chill?
I don't know if it's like FOMO, you know, like everyone's just going to carry on as normal when I die. Like, it'll be a week of like, oh, fucking Adam's dead. That's a shame, innit? And then like everyone will be fine after a week. It'll be fucking.
Like,
that does scare me a bit. Like I don't know what the meaning of life is, but death definitely scares me. But yeah, oh man. What would you how would you answer that so it can help? I'm not going to copy you.
The meaning of it.
Like, what have you heard when you asked other people that question?
Yeah, things like, I don't know, be happy, be kind, and all that kind of stuff. I don't know because how would we ever know? How would we ever know what we're supposed to do here?
Though, like
make everything better,
being clean-hearted and being a genuine person will eventually come round to. I mean, there's some bastards who are in great positions, unfortunately, but I do think.
But are they happy?
But like that will come around if you're a good person, and it's like in what we do now, like. I'm just going to be consistently me and never try and do anything else. And hopefully I'll benefit from that. And in 10 years, I'll still be here. Yeah. And I won't have this burnout and that's me done. Yeah. So I think just be yourself. Clean-hearted is important, man.
Good answer. What motivates you the most?
Not dying, probably.
What, metaphorically and physically?
Yeah, but also like, career-wise, is that, oh, fuck, if this ends, I have to get another job. I have to get a real job. Yeah. I don't want a real job ever again. So that keeps me going a little bit. Like, because I'm obviously based in Birmingham, the club's based in London, Stretford Paddock's based in Manchester. I spend most of my days driving about, like, just on the motorway. I bought a car in 2015 and I got rid of it last year and I'd done like 220k on it.
Wow.
That was like a good solid like 4 or 5 years of just going home and away every game. Yeah. And then in between going to Manchester and London and all that, like I absolutely obliterated that car. But yeah, like just the fear of losing everything is what keeps me going.
Okay. What's the best advice you've received?
My mum and dad split up when I was young, innit? And my dad said to me, heaven lies at your mother's feet. And I remember thinking like, fuck is he on about? But basically what he's saying is, I just look after your mum, innit? And I think that's one thing I always like, just try and make my mum happy. Yeah. And I think if everyone done that, I think the world would be a better. You know, if you always thought about your mum, like, what would she think in this situation? Yeah. Like, I think the world would be. Is that a weird answer?
No, it's a tremendous answer.
But like I remember my dad saying that to me once. Like, I know me and your mum ain't together, but just remember, heaven lies at your mother's feet. And I was like, what the fuck did he just say? I think we had a drink at the time. I was like, what's going on? And then like it hit me like, well, yeah, it does. It's true. So yeah,
piece of advice. What do you know now that you wish you'd known earlier?
That I was going to be in YouTube.
Okay.
Like with career, like, you know, law-wise and stuff like that. Yeah. I'd have just done something relevant to what I'm doing, so I could be walking, talking machine, just presenting it, edit it, do everything. I think doing something more relevant to my career in uni, because I fucking not long just paid off that student debt. You know what I mean? It hangs around for a long time, man. It does. And it makes you think, I wasted that time.
Nothing's ever wasted, mate.
I suppose I wouldn't
learn different things.
I wouldn't have been in a position that, you know, maybe I would have ended up in a different job. I don't have a boss who allows me to do stupid videos on the internet, and it never happens. But yeah, I felt wasted. Like, got a degree for no reason.
Never wasted, like you say. What makes you happy?
Just there's nothing, you know. I was just doing what I want to do, man.
Okay.
And like, obviously, being around my family is always good. Like, having the time that we have now, where we're just constantly fucking working. I'm hardly ever at home. When I do get time with my family, it's so good. Like, we all went to Barbados a few years ago, and it was like, I like this. And like, because my mum and dad, like I just said, separated when I was like 7 years old. So he's like, I remember at one of my birthday parties, like 21st birthday, I had a picture with my mum and dad together in the same picture, and I was like, I haven't got a picture like this for like 15 years, which sounds dumb, innit? Like,
no.
But it's like, just being around everyone is good. Like because obviously separate family homes and all that. So when I'm around everyone, it makes me feel good.
Did they get on okay?
Yeah, they still chat to each other if they have to and all that kind of stuff. I think they were just, when they had me, they were young, and that's going to happen. But yeah, like being around both parents always, it makes me go, look at this. This is what we could have had.
As long as you're feeling good. What's just very quickly before I finish, the club, how's that come about and how's it going?
Well, obviously we were on the kickoff. People don't like to talk about it. I mean, I'll talk about it. I don't give a shit. Yeah. We're on the kickoff. Obviously, it was a great opportunity. People like to say I was nothing without the kickoff, mate. There was a reason they wanted me on the kickoff. It's because I was doing very well before the kickoff. Yeah. And then we got on it, myself and Rory. And me and Rory were already doing a podcast on the side called just McKola and Rory podcast. Like very creative, as you can tell. Yeah.
How long did it take to come up with the title?
First I went to him, so my surname's McElroy Cola, right? Yeah. First I went to him, we should call this the Rory McElroy podcast. Like, people will listen to it not knowing what's going on. They don't think Rory McElroy is going to be on here. It's just me and you talking about football. Yeah. But yeah, so we did that, and then we were obviously doing the kickoff. Brian obviously said what he said, which wasn't great, but I don't think it was the end of the world. It was a poorly landed joke, which obviously didn't go down well with a lot of people. And then for me, he apologised about it, but it wasn't an apology, man. And at the time, like, he obviously made an Islamophobic joke, and I have a lot of family and friends who are Muslim, and I remember people messaging me going, "You work for this guy, what's going on?" And people that I hadn't spoke to like for a long time. And look, I'm very outspoken on Palestine, and I'm very like, I push, like, being British Asian. I did a documentary about British Asians in football. I'm very outspoken on issues that we face as a community or whatever. So then when that happened, for me to then stay quiet would look mental. Like, people go, hold on a minute, you got everything to say when all this going on, but now you're quiet when it's your mate. So I remember at the time I went, if he makes an apology video, I'll wait that to happen and say, look, he's made a mistake, he's apologised, we can all move on, it's done. But then the apology video was just horrendous. Personally, I thought it was horrendous. And I remember just thinking, I can't be associated with that. And then, so I left. I made a decision to go. I put a statement out. I said, I've left. I never spoke to Rory about it. I never spoke to Boovie about it. I never spoke to anyone. I was just like, I'm out. And I didn't say, you have to leave too, or they didn't go, oh, well, if you're leaving, I'm leaving. It was just all individual decisions. And then we'd left, and for the World Cup, which was in December at the time, we were doing fuck all. I weren't booked. He weren't booked. None of us were booked. And so we kind of sat down and just went, should we do our own channel? And then we were going to do it. And then obviously we presented the idea to Fellow Studios, who are doing great things at the moment. But they had pitch side. Yeah, so it was a bit of a conflict of interest for them. But obviously I think what the lads do on pitch side is great. But we're very different football channels. Like, theirs kind of feels like a very laddish, stag do almost vibe, they're all cutting each other's hair, and we're more, let's just talk about football, and so then obviously fellas backed it, so they have co-ownership of the channel. Obviously me and Rory had the initial chat, then we asked Boovie if he wants to be a part of it. Boovie wants to be a part of it, and then just went from there. And then the growth immediately was nuts. Like, obviously we had that heat of, oh my God, they've just left the kickoff and made their own thing. And that obviously creates a little bit of heat, doesn't it? Of course, yeah. But I think, once that flew, just amazing, man. And then we've done it for 2.5 seasons. Yeah. Hopefully we'll do it for another season next year. We've had good sponsors backing us. Like, it's been good fun. The views are amazing. Like, so yeah, enjoy that. But that's how that came about, just from, all right, what are we going to do now then?
Yeah.
You know, do people just expect us to just go, all right, we're not doing that, we'll just crawl into a corner and not make any videos anymore? So yeah, that's how that happened.
Yeah, brilliant that it's going well. It's going well.
But like, it's like I say, like, I've never had any hard feelings towards Brighton. Like, he helped us a lot at that point in time, and he obviously given us a platform to work on. But people that kind of go, oh, these lot of snakes and he made you and all this kind of, there's a reason they wanted us on the channel. You know what I mean? Because we were good at what we did. And if anything, we helped make the show. Because I don't really see that around anymore.
But that's the point of it, isn't it? You help each other, don't you? I wasn't going to ask you this, but I will ask you just because you brought it up. Has it been difficult for you being such a British Asian in the way football is? Have you found, or has it not affected it in a way? Because let's be honest, if we're putting everything on the table, there's not enough British Asians, and there's not even enough players, which blows my mind as well.
Especially when you consider, like, so when I did the documentary, I looked into like the stats and the facts, and like in terms of grassroots football, we play British Asians are a high percentage of people that play grassroots football, and the percentage just doesn't translate into the professionals. Obviously there's a lot of different things changing, and there's a lot of different groups that are coming in. I think there's Asian, I think it's called AIMS, which is like Asians Immense something. It's called AIMS anyway. And then you got various different groups. The PFA are doing a lot more. Riz Rahman's doing great stuff, and then you got Nujum Sports as well, who's another kind of group that's helping Asians in football. So it's very good that it's improving, but there has obviously been an issue. I remember like Dave Bassett said some madly racist stuff early in the days about why they wouldn't pick Asian players, and I think that was a view amongst a lot of scouts and things like that. But I think that's changing now, and I think you look at football as a whole, like whether they come from abroad or from Britain, there's a lot of different colour faces in the game now, you know, like so I don't think it's as surprising, and I think you will see it. And when I saw Zidane Iqbal come on for Manchester United in the Champions League, I did have a little tear in my eye, because like that was my dream. That was, you know, a lot of kids' dreams, and now he's kind of shown that it's possible. And there's more Asian kids coming through. But yeah, as for my career, I don't know. Because a lot of these things are subconscious, right? Yeah. So like maybe I won't get picked for something and no one will know why I haven't been picked for something, but that might be subconsciously the reason why. But I can't really say it's affected my career because I've had a great career. Could it have been better? Maybe, I don't know. But
it's been United centre forward. Yeah. You never know. What's the one question I should have asked you that I haven't?
I don't know.
Or have I covered everything?
Have you got it? Have you got one?
No, I'm asking you. I've asked you loads. I'm asking you, is there anything I should have asked you that I haven't?
No, man. Can't think of anything. Anything. Well, I feel like you know.
I don't. How would I not have asked you that? I've asked you a million questions.
All right, I don't like
nothing.
This has been the perfect interview from you, Bas.
You think, is that what you said? Not one of them. Didn't ask you that?
No, I haven't. Nah.
Is there anything we haven't covered that we should have?
What we doing we're going to be in pre-season together, innit?
We are going to be pre-season together in the United States. We are.
A few good nights.
If possibly.
Let's do that.
Depends what you're doing.
Yeah, I'll be about.
Chasing out a cancer now.
Yeah. Chasing him about like a lunatic. Oh, man. Yeah. It was a funny thing last year, actually, on a pre-season tour. We was in LA and we had a heavy night out the night before. And I woke up in the morning and they were like, well, we got to go watch training at UCLA. And I was like, fuck that, I'm not going. And then about 10 minutes later, I sprang up out of bed and I was like, if you would have asked me to go watch United train at UCLA 10 years ago, I would have fucking chopped your hand off. Let me get up and get ready right now. This is really stupid what I'm doing. Yeah, I've had moments like that, which are funny. But yeah, I can't wait for pre-season. It'd be good to see you out there.
It'll be good. Okay, final question then, because I've realised I haven't asked you. Ruben Amorim, is he all that? Obviously, because of the size of Manchester United result and where they are, me as an Evertonian aren't used to seeing United in recent history, obviously.
We were probably your second team for a long time.
Well,
we stopped them lot.
I think second team's probably stretching it, but I would rather have seen United maybe win some stuff to make my life a bit easier. No, but all that aside, I mean, what have you made of Amorim's era so far, and is he going to get the time that maybe he needs?
I think that, you know, the interview when Jim Ratcliffe did a round of interviews, and I think his defence and support of the manager impressed me, because it was kind of the things that I think. Look, I think the league form could have been better, but I think he's also got to. We're expecting a manager to come in, and everyone kind of goes, "Oh, what United need to do is get a manager to come in, let him change the culture of the club and change the image of the club." And then, you know, give him time to do all that. And then the minute he loses a couple of games, they go, "Oh, he's got to go. He's not the one." It's like, hold on a minute. We all agreed that a manager needs time here. And again, you have to give managers time
as long as you're winning.
And you need to give the right manager time. But I am very impressed by the way he speaks. It's not everything, but I think sometimes Ten Hag lost us with what he said in press conferences.
Yeah.
Same with David Moyes at times. Like, you lose fans with some of the stuff. I think everything Ruben Amorim says is spot on. The way he handles the issues at the club, spot on. I think considering the squad that we have available to him, a few results could have probably been better, but ultimately I think this is what we are. And if we can win the Europa League, go into next season with Champions League football somehow, and a trophy in the bag, give him some of his own players, let's see where we go. And I do think, although we're horrendous right now, the recruitment since Ineos have come in hasn't been bad. I think it's shown a clear sign leaning towards younger players. And I think the youth is the way out of this for Manchester United. We've got a great academy. We're bringing players in, like nicking some of Arsenal's players and that. Build around that academy, make good signings. But yeah, the answer is I think Amorim's the man. But I've said that about Ten Hag. And I've said that about Louis van Gaal.
Yeah.
And I said that about Mourinho. But that's me, though, innit? Once someone's there, I support them, man, and give them the backing that they need and deserve. And I think Amorim deserves it.
Does Rashford have a future at United?
If it was up to me, yes. But I don't think he does. I think it's over. I think Rashford got way too much criticism. Like, way too much. I mean, you consider what he's done at United in the situation he's been in. Like, I think if he was part of a Fergie team, you know, goes down as a great. I think in hindsight, we will consider him maybe not a legend, but like a hero. Like, you know, I think he's top 12 United goal scorers ever, which isn't bad. But there were, you know, too many unwarranted nights out, too many late nights here and there, going out before games. Look, if you want to change the culture of the club, you can't accept that. You know, and Fergie made some difficult decisions. You look at Kanchelskis one, Mark Hughes, Paul Ince.
Beckham.
Bigger and better players have left Manchester United, and United have been fine. So I think it was needed for both. I think it was needed for both. I do like him, though. I want him to do well. Yeah. I wanted Villa to win the FA Cup for him. I wanted Villa to win the Champions League for him. So I don't hate Rashford. I love him. But it's a shame. It's one of them interviews I'm going to get, and I'm going to smash it out of the park.
I hope you do. I'll be watching.
Cheers, brother.
I'll be watching. Adam, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me. Absolute pleasure.
Superb.